Hello, everyone. It's Nicole, host of Beauty Behind the Brand. I'm jumping on this episode with another solo, and it's going to be all about niching down in the beauty industry, trying to figure out your go-to services, which ones are actually making you profit, as well as within your market and where you live. These are very common questions you have when it comes to actually having a business, starting a business, as well as actually pursuing an ongoing business. So let's dive into this episode. We've got a lot of great questions about strategizing for these exact markets within the beauty industry. Our first question is, how did you go about identifying your niche in the beauty market? What factors did you consider? So when I had started the spa, for example, I niched down in the sense of the services that I was most busy with, as well as the ones I enjoyed the most. The only thing with that was I didn't really take in consideration the cost per service and how many clients I could see a day within the hours of operations. I also did offer waxing, Brazilian waxing, body waxing, face waxing, tinting as well. But I just found that I was so overwhelmed with the amount of gel nails I was doing, as well as lashes, that it was really hard for me to get these smaller appointments in that actually were making me more money at the end of the day. So when it comes to actually niching down within your market, there's lots of things to take in consideration. But that is kind of why, again, we took that chance to look over our numbers during the lockdown, and those it seemed like forever, the amount of years that we were closed down for. But it took me time to actually look at the numbers and the profit and the availability that we had within our hours per day, what made the most sense for our clients as well as for our staff. You do obviously want to enjoy what you're doing every day, and having variety is very important. So I was basically stuck at my nail desk all day, every day, and I didn't actually have that variety that I was craving within the beauty industry and why I got into it. So there's different ways that you can prioritize that, as well as actually having those services for your clients where they could be doing gel nails as well as getting that pedicure afterwards. So pairing your clients with those different services so you can spend the time with them, and or dividing it up for other clients as well as different appointment types. So we'll go in a little bit more depth with those questions down below. Can you share any challenges you faced in finding your niche and how you overcame them? So our niche, we live in a very, very unique area here in Muskoka, Ontario, Canada, and it is cottage country. People know it's like the Hollywood of Canada, basically. There's mansions here. It's just overwhelming at times, the amount of money that is and the wealth that is here. But we also have to remember that isn't here all the time. We have a very unique market in the sense of we have our locals that are here as well as our cottagers. So we really need to make sure that we are able to capture both incomes as well as both variety of services for clients. And also making sure it's affordable for everybody and not outpricing ourselves in the market, but still keeping us that luxury, very exclusive type of spa. For example, it's prom season right now and grad season, and the amount of young girls that we have coming in for services, I still want to be able to cater to those. I still want to be able to cater to our moms that want to pamper themselves and spoil themselves, as well as our cottagers who are able to come in and pamper themselves during the summer season when they're here visiting. So it is really hard to try to figure out something to please everybody, but that's why we've really looked at the pricing. Another actually good thing that I noticed with the pricing and the market is don't look at what everyone else's prices are. Look at what the cost of the service is actually costing you, what you're paying your staff, your ideal VIP client that we always talk about, what client will pay that service, because your overhead is going to be different than other people's overhead. Or if you're a one woman show out of your house, your pricing and overhead is going to be different than someone like myself who has 10 staff members, rent, commercial space, commercial licensing, all of those things as well. So yes, it's hard because someone can say, oh, I got that cheaper at this person's place or whatever. Like, you're always going to have those conversations back and forth, but it's really important to realize that you're going to price your services to what makes sense for you, and also making sure to raise those prices. So when it comes to niching and overcoming them, I would say don't be shy when it comes to pricing yourself accordingly to your prices. For example, we do a lot of lash lift and brow laminations. And I thought, you know what? Something I'm hearing a lot from our clients are they're wanting to get services done faster. They want to be in and out of here. So instead of having 2 hours for a lash lift and brow lamination, we can actually do both those services at the same time. And we're trying to pair a lot of those add-on services to some other services we have, like our hydrobrasion with a dermaplaning facial as well. So it's that 2 service within that hour. We only have so many timed appointments throughout the day and the same amount of time every day that we're open. So how can we utilize that time? And we are so busy that it's trying to get as many people in as we can, but keeping that quality of service there as well. Quality over quantity. So when it came to overcoming some of our problems within our niche was we want to be able to serve everyone head to toe treatments, but we have nail techs that are just nail techs, for example. Okay, so what are we going to do to make sure that we're also getting clients in for their waxing appointments or facial appointments? I was having to hire another group of staff members to be able to offer those full services when it comes to manicure, pedicures, as well as waxing and full body. So really breaking it down of which services also make you the most money at the end of the day to be able to provide more income for your client or for your employees, as well as for your clients to feel that they're heard on what services you're bringing in. So we kind of overcame the sense of being able to offer all these services to people. But then I was like, wait a minute, what is our niche anymore? So we had to figure out what is our niche and what are we going to do moving forward. A lot of clients have now come in for facials that have never had facials before. So we're starting to educate them when they're coming in for those manicure pedicures, getting them into the facial room, educating them on those services that are margined appropriately for what we're kind of wanting in the growth and our forecasts of where the years are coming within our business. And then maybe chatting with them about laser, having an IPL treatment, laser hair removal for some of our waxing clients, but having the client in mind, making sure that those services that we're suggesting to them on the medical side are actually going to benefit them and are appropriate for them as well, not just upselling, making sure that we truly have the client in mind. So I would say we're niching down into the beauty industry, but into the Medi Spa. And it's a slow process, kind of like the last, I guess it was 2 episodes ago, I chatted about this. And now we're bringing it to their forefront of being a medical spa and why we're offering these services for them to be able to amplify their needs within the treatment room. And newsletters, educating, social media, actually being able to chat with them when they are in the room with us, making sure those conversations are there when you're actually doing the service on a client. Yeah, talking about how your weekend was, whatever, but making sure you're bringing it back to that conversation of some of the special offerings we have or new things going on at the spa.
For those who have been listening, you know I'm a massive fan of Squarespace, and I don't really know what I would do without them. With both our brick and mortar store as well as our e-commerce, I can do everything in one place. Whether it's e-commerce, I can do inventory, email campaigns, appointments, and so much more. Now, Beauty Behind the Brand has partnered up with Squarespace to offer you 10% off your first subscription. All you need is promo code PARTNER10.
What strategies did you use to research and understand your target market within the beauty industry? So again, Muskoka is such a unique market. I mean, the winters here, like the winters versus the summer are night and day. I think there was a thing that went out a couple years ago that our population here actually quadruples in the summer. It is wild how much busier Muskoka is versus the winter. So again, we really have to make sure, we're super busy in the summer, but we also have to make sure that we're catering to those locals that are going to keep us busy year round. We're making sure that they're booking ahead. We're making sure that we're listening to them and what they are wanting from us as a business, because they are our bread and butter at the end of the day, and they're keeping us going. They're one of us. We're here year round as much as they are, and it makes it really important for us to be able to provide them the services that they need through the winter. Plus, winters are so dark and gloomy that you definitely want a spa day in the middle of winter. So understanding our target market was that, trying to figure out something that everybody wants year round, all season, and what better treatment would that be than a facial, a pedicure. There is a lot of different options we have, but really trying to figure out what our strategy was within the beauty industry is difficult. I'm sure you're sitting here thinking, oh wow, there's a lot of moving parts in figuring out your strategy in your market. But I also noticed that the beauty industry changes all the time, and it's okay for you to change as well. We're now doing more services within a treatment room, for example. Our treatment rooms have never been so busy. We have, I guess we technically have 4 treatment rooms. One's designated just for lash extensions, which is basically a closet that we can fit a spa bed in. So that has been our lash closet, we call it. And that is a nonstop as a lash room. Then we have 3 treatment rooms that are for body waxing, facials, lash lifts and tints, skincare consultations, Botox, filler, as well as laser hair removal. So utilizing those rooms as much as we can and what makes the most sense on who's using what service for, or which room for which service. We did just purchase a laser hair removal machine. So that one of those rooms is going to be designated for laser hair removal because it's one of the more luxury high-end services. And we want to make sure that those rooms are being booked up the most. The beauty industry, like I said, keeps changing and revolving. So we're looking at the market, but we're also listening to our clients and understanding what they're needing. So look at your target, even into your finances, what you think is making you the most money within your services. So waxing, for example, is an amazing service to offer. Great upsell opportunities, whether you add, like, shouting out here to my own brand, but Muskoka Beauty lip and eye treatments during a lash lift and brow lamination. You can offer like a paraffin wax add-on. You can offer a scalp massage. Like, you can offer all these add-ons that are something that are really, really reasonably priced as like those consumables. But even just your hands, offering a hand massage as an add-on while they're sitting there with their lash lift product on. Our Muskoka Beauty lash lift and brow lamination pumps themselves, there's like 0 waste, they're recyclable. You can get 50 plus services with them. And it's something that you have to look at the cost of the service to what you're going to be charging, and then the overhead on top of that. People look, oh, it only cost me this much, but the lights are on, the water's on, you're doing laundry at the same time. So all these consumables per service. So making sure when you're looking at the market and the target industry you're wanting to be in, making sure it's within what you want to do as the esthetician or the spa owner, but then also, is it going to get you to where you want to be in the future? Looking at yourself in 5 years, okay, if I'm going to be sitting here doing this particular one service all day, every day, is it going to bring me to that goal I have for myself in 5 years? Or do I need to hire a team to be able to do that? Or do I need to take some additional add-on courses to be able to offer those services that my clients are asking for? And I know that there's a need for it. That's the other thing, is test the market. Make sure that you do know before purchasing a very expensive machine that the market is there and it's going to keep that machine busy. For example, like our hydrobrasion machine from Lumifarm, I thought, oh gosh, this is an expensive machine. Let's see what the market's going to do. And it's our best selling service. But we market that facial as our top service because it really works on any skin type. Same with the oxygen facial. It's one that we can use basically on anyone. It's a great healing facial, and really marketing it, getting in front of the camera, letting people know what your niche is in your market, why people are coming to you, why people are driving a distance to come to your location. If you're like the brow queen within your area and you're amazing at like waxing and tinting or brow laminations, or you're an incredible lash artist, and making sure that, okay, if you're this booked and you're this busy, is it time to raise your prices or hire a team? What are the next strategies that are going to bring you to that next level within your industry and within your market? So don't sell yourself short. I feel like that's another thing within the beauty industry. A lot of us are people pleasers. That's, I think, a very common trait within estheticians, because we're detail oriented, we're people pleasers. We want to make sure that we're doing the best we can, and that's a great quality, but not sometimes for business. We really need to make sure that we're people pleasing, but we're also making sure that we're leaving with some money as well at the end of the day. So just keep those in mind when it's coming to like targeting your market. There's more of just picking like one specific niche. There's many reasons why you're going to want to niche down within that target industry. How important is it for your brand to be different from other competitors? What steps did you take to stand out in your niche? Okay, so this is kind of a loaded question, very similar to what we've been just chatting about, but you're going to want to make sure that your Instagram and your website is actually very coherent with when people are coming into your location. You're going to want to make sure that when they're coming in, they get that exact same feel good vibe that they're getting when they're scrolling on your Instagram. You're going to want to make sure that everything from when they step, well, even when they come into your parking lot, that things are clean, put together. It's your brand from when they're driving in that parking lot to when they're leaving and cashing out. You're going to want to make sure that your competitive drive, I'm a super uber competitive person. And sometimes that eats me alive within this industry too, because you're going to want to get the biggest and the best thing all the time to be better and better than your competitors, but not even thinking of them as your competitors, thinking of them as, oh, okay, so what, to be honest, I have actually unfollowed a lot of spas within our industry because I'm almost too, I don't want to say I'm too driven by them, but I'm not focused on what I need to do. We've been in the industry for, well, I've been in the industry for almost over 10 years now, but we've had our spa, it'll be 8 years this fall. And I feel like there's sometimes a little bit too much judgment of who's bringing in which services, brands, that kind of thing, where I feel like I was getting too emotionally drained when I was like, oh, I really want to bring this service in, but I see that someone else has actually brought it in, or this is the reasons why, business decisions, why I'm bringing this in, and this is the reasons why. And I felt like I needed to explain myself why I was doing these things when really it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think of ourselves as one of Muskoka's go-to spas. We have built our name for ourselves here, but it's also like, I'm going to bring this in because I truly believe our spa needs this, not because the person down the street or the person on the other end of Muskoka, which is another town over, has this particular thing. There's reasons why we bring things in, and there's reasons why I have stopped following other social media because I feel like I'm getting too influenced by them, where I need to just follow what makes most sense for myself. Obviously, I do have an idea of who has laser, who has different facial machines, different skincare lines. Like I do my market research when I do purchase things, especially when it's a higher end item, or like even some of the starting orders. Like we just brought in Kula sunscreen, which I absolutely love. I have traveled a lot, and when we were at a couple different locations this past winter, they had the Kula sunscreen there, and I fell in love with it. I was like, okay, I need to make sure I have this back in Muskoka, especially for our spray tan clients. They are needing a sunscreen like this, that's natural, that's oil free, that isn't going to ruin their spray tan that they just spent $50 on. So there's different reasons that people bring things in. And I think being competitive is a great thing, but you also need to remember that everyone has emotion behind business, and you never want to make anyone mad, upset anybody. Like, we all need each other in this industry. We also do sell a lot of our products to other spas and salons within the area with our other business with Muskoka Beauty. So we're all in this together. If someone calls me this day and said, I need wax strips, or I need this, I am going to be there for them. I'm going to be able to help them, but I don't want to be influenced by their business decisions for my business decisions, if that makes sense. I don't want this to come off like the wrong way, but I think if you're a true entrepreneur, you'll know what I mean when it comes to making sure you're doing what you need to do for your business. No one knows your business better than you do. Sometimes maybe your bookkeeper or accountant does, but you know the reasons why you do what you do within your industry. So competitors are competitors, but make sure that you're just being true to yourself. You're not making business decisions because of what other people are doing within their spa or salon. I hope that helps, because I literally just came up with this kind of stop following people influenced by everyone else recently. I've also started following more spas within Toronto, for example, or some of the ones that are a little bit more high-end medi spas that I've absolutely fallen in love with, and what they're doing on their socials and different services and products they're bringing in, because we do have such a market that is coming from the city for those summer months. I want to be able to provide those services that they're looking for, as well as it's just, they're like the next level up. They're kind of bringing in new things that we haven't quite done yet here in Muskoka, but it's keeping me on my toes of bringing that next level to Muskoka. And it's just fun. I absolutely love social media for the marketing. I've also brought my screen time down a lot because I'm trying to go on social media with an intention. So I've gotten, I think my screen time's down to, I think it was just over 3 hours a day, which is like pretty good, I think, in my opinion, compared to what it used to be. But making sure when you're going on social media, or you have an intention when you open your phone and you're doing what you say you're going to do, and getting out there and actually like socializing with real people. That's another thing that I feel like a lot of competitors don't do, is actually socializing in person, going to some women's events, making sure you're even going just even as a guest, or pay a ticket to go to one of the social media marketing events that they have going on. See how you can be involved in some of your entrepreneur programs, your small business centers, YWCA in your local community, because those are some of the things that I feel like really amplifies your business and why people may come to you, because they see that you're active in the community, you're giving back to the community, whether it's your time or finances. I feel like that's something else that will amplify why people come to you and why you're such a great person within the industry, as well as even helping someone. I had I think it was yesterday or the day before, I had someone come into the spa and their daughter is in grade 12, super smart girl. She's interested in getting into beauty, specifically makeup. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to connect you to this person, da 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 da. She has big dreams, great ideas of what she wants to do, a great vision of moving forward of what she wants to do after school. And her guidance counselors just shot her down. Oh, you could never do that. Oh, you could never do that. And I was the same. Like, I wasn't really going anywhere after high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And it was literally talking to someone similar to myself and saying, oh, wow, the beauty industry, you can literally go anywhere with it. And even just having that conversation with her mom and saying, oh yeah, come in anytime. Like, I'm happy to chat with her. Sometimes those conversations that you can have with someone, just to make them feel heard. And she's probably going to go and talk to a couple of her friends or mom friends about me talking to her daughter as well, and giving her kind of that motivation to move forward with what she wants to do. So it's just down to being you, what you want to do, what truly you want to bring to the beauty industry and yourself, as well as your employees, or even if you're a solo, what you want to do to make yourself a better person as well as your business. So don't worry too much about competitors. You obviously have to do your market research when you're bringing in like different services, just to make sure it's not like oversaturated. But if you're listening to your clients, especially your VIP clients, and they're wanting you to bring in like IPL or something, for example, okay, well, listen to those clients, because obviously they're going to tell their friends, they've been with you since day one. You're going to want to bring in these services to better them, their skincare regimes, as well as they're going to tell more clients and friends about you. So that was a long-winded answer, but lots of takeaways from that.
Are you like me and every other entrepreneur on this planet, trying to make things as simple and easy as possible, even when it comes to your health? Goalie apple cider vinegar gummies can help. Use promo code Nick Manion at checkout for 10% off your order. For those looking for a different take on apple cider vinegar, Goalie apple cider vinegar gummies contain all the old school benefits of traditional apple cider vinegar in an easy take gummy form. Their products are vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, and gelatin-free. Taste the apple, not so much the vinegar. 2 gummies contain 1 apple cider vinegar shot. Now, don't forget to use promo code Nick Manion at checkout for 10% off.
How did you ensure that the niche aligns with your brand and values and your mission of your business? So your mission and values of your brand can actually change. I feel like that was something I'm actually kind of revamping on our website, as well as our whole business plan and vision. Our business plan is out the freaking window. Like, from when I started to what it is now, it is like a night and day difference, as well as even Muskoka Beauty, what our plans are, what we're planning to do in the next 5 to 10 years. Business plans are great, especially to kind of get those finances situated on what makes the most sense and where you're going to go, but be flexible with them. I think our brand and our niche and our values and our missions and all these things are great things to have on your website. People can see them, see what you stand for, but at the same time, it's okay to change them. If your mission within your spa has changed, or now you're doing more education to get more industry knowledge out there to the public, or having open houses and events or rental space for other entrepreneurs. There's so many different things you can do, and it's okay to change those. But be transparent from when, like I said, when it comes to your website, your social media, to when clients are stepping in that door. You want to make sure that those missions and those values are all there, because you don't want to have, oh, I'm all about skincare, and then people are walking into your establishment and it's all nails. So being very transparent on what those two are, whether it comes to social media or your website, and then when they're actually coming in. But even your brand colors, that's something I feel like is another really good podcast episode we should have, is about social media and how your brand colors, making sure some of those keywords are written in your bio on Instagram, location tags, hashtags, really making sure that everything's coherent when it comes to the visuals, as well as having a proper headshot, email signatures, just all those things that do take time to set up, but it is so worth it. Having an automated social media posting system, we use later.com, absolutely love it. And having ways that you can automate, because when you're a working esthetician, it is really hard to take the time to do all these things behind the scenes that clients appreciate, but like, it takes a lot of time to do, as well as answering emails, your vocabulary when speaking to clients, as well as emailing them back and forth, your social media captions, and making sure within those missions of your post, you're posting more variety, making sure you've got something that's entertaining, something that's educational. There's so many things you can touch on. ChatGPT is great for different ideas for that too. I've written in there, like, give me posting ideas from Muskoka Aesthetics during the summer months. And it will give me a list upon list of different posting ideas, as well as different educational segments for maybe some of our skincare, our SPF. So marketing is one of my favorite things, and how you're even going to market your emails to your clients, to some of the specials you have going on. But don't always feel like you're selling to people, making sure you're giving them some value behind why they're coming to you, and why maybe you're involved in the community, and some of the money that you're going to be profiting from your clients is actually going back into the women's shelter, or the mission that you're making a safe place for people to come to work every day. Like, making sure that you have something that you stand behind and why clients choose to come to you too. Can you share any examples of successful marketing campaigns or tactics that have helped you reach engaging your target audience? This is a really good question. It's hard because I find everybody has a different target audience of where they want to be, or their ideal client. Personally, I found I play a lot of sports. Well, I did, and now I'm trying to play golf more, but I don't know how that's going. I'm trying anyways. But I find my target strategy, I was playing baseball a lot. I was I'm learning all these different women's events, the 100 Women Who Care. I was going to YWC events, female entrepreneur events. I was going to a lot of women events when I had first opened. It just kind of worked out because I was either invited to them as like a young entrepreneur, or women in business, or people were reaching out for me to help out with their boards, the hospital, like different hospital fundraisers, or donating. So I did a lot of silent auction donations, whether it was buck and does, different raffle tickets, giveaways. So I figured out what the best strategy was on doing that, because it was advertising, it was word of mouth, and I would also get potentially a new client from that opportunity of having a gift card there, or a raffle, a prize basket, any of those things. And it made it really easy for clients to then say, oh, I've been there, it's amazing, or oh, this is the great gift as a pedicure for the spring season, I'm going to go get my feet done. So those were really great strategies. I did sponsor one of our local baseball teams, so it was great because they would mention Muskoka Aesthetics multiple times within the radio per week, as well as like we're donating for a local women's baseball team. So we're putting money back into the community and promoting health and wellness within our spa. So that was great. And all the women had Muskoka Aesthetics shirts, jackets. So it was great if they were wearing those around town as well, they would see that. So those were some of the best campaigns, I would say. I also have been in some of the different local magazines with promos. You really want to make sure that when you do something like that, that it's trackable. So making sure you put like a QR code or you put a coupon or something that people can like click or bring in. So then you can see if you actually made your money back on those magazine campaigns. Making it trackable is super important because, for example, if you're spending like $1,000 on a magazine ad and you only got like 5 of the discount tickets on like a spray tan or something like that, you really want to make sure that, okay, this strategy might have not worked very well. Let's reevaluate on what makes the most sense for our business and targeting that audience. Social media, to be honest, like we do some of our paid sponsored ad depending on our specials for the month. Those have gone great. They're also trackable because you can go onto your insights on social and see how many people have clicked on that. It is a little bit trickier too, depending on how they book their appointments through your booking system, but you could also like sometimes have like a booking portal through that sponsor. So yeah, those are some of the ones I would recommend and I find are really helpful, especially this time of year. So our last question today are, what are some of the common mistakes or misconceptions you see beauty entrepreneurs make when trying to identify their niche? Well, I feel like I kind of did it. And sometimes I feel like I catch myself doing it, is trying to do everything and be everything as well as have everything. You obviously want to have the best of the best facial machines, or you want to have the best of the best products. You want to have the biggest spa, the most amount of staff. Like you really need to figure out, is this actually making me money at the end of the day, or am I running a charity at this point of just spending money as it comes in and comes out? When it comes to misconceptions, I feel like a lot of people think just because they have the fancy car or the fancy laser machine that the business is actually making money. That is something I find within our industry. It's a very visual industry, right? So we see something, it's like with nails or lashes or brows. Okay, we see that fancy laser machine, or we see that nice vehicle that the person's driving, or they've got the building, they have this and this. Sometimes those are showing points that they want to have it all, but they might not have it all. So don't be hard on yourself. Like I probably drive the oldest car in my parking lot and I really don't care. It's just, I'd rather put my money back into my business than drive something that's going to deplete in value anyways as soon as I drive it off the lot. So instead of buying a new car, I bought a laser machine, I bought a spray tan machine, that's going to be making me money to potentially buy that new car. But it's one of those things is figuring out with those opening orders, for example, okay, am I going to be able to make this money back in this amount of time to then place another order to make me more money with those margins? I feel like that's a really big mistake that a lot of people do when starting too. Like I bought all of my stuff secondhand, like our front desk, our nail stations, stools, trolleys, spa beds. Like we just replaced all our spa beds. Well, not even all of them, 2 of them this year. And I bought all the other ones for $100 on Marketplace. A lot of spas go big right off the bat. They end up going bankrupt. They end up closing. So really making sure that you're not just putting all your money in right at the beginning. There is a lot of operation like money that you need to spend monthly, daily, weekly on keeping your spa operating. I don't think people realize that. They just see the money coming in and they're like, oh, wow, you made this much today. Well, yeah, but I also have to pay my staff. I have to pay for the hydro. I have to pay for the water. I have to pay for the laundry detergent. I have to pay for the products. I have to pay for my receptionist. Like there is a lot of things that go into running a business, whether it's a spa industry or not. But I think it's oh, wow, this is going to get me rich fast. There is no getting rich fast within any industry. I mean, maybe I would love to know which ones, but I think this industry is something where it's hard because you're a service industry. You have to keep your head down and work, but you also have to be a marketing expert. You have to be a social media expert. You have to be like a social butterfly day in and day out. There's so many different things and different hats you have to wear, but don't be hard on yourself and follow what you think is right for your business. That's what I was talking about with the whole social media and competitors, like following people. And like, we're really fortunate here in our area. All the spas get along great. Everyone has great rapport together. But I just think it's one of those things that you need to follow what you think is right is for your business, as well as having the niche to help build your business to where you want that target to be in that 5 to 10 years. But yes, don't be hard on yourself. We all are, especially in this industry. We want to be as polished as possible, no pun intended, because that's who we are. We're perfectionists, we're people pleasers, and don't be hard on yourself, because I feel like we're all in this together. Please reach out if you ever have questions about anything. I'm literally an open book when it comes to business, social media, anything. But I really, really hope that this episode helps you kind of figure out your niche and the purpose behind why you've opened your business, and gives you the motivation to keep going, to go further every year. We are at that 6-month mark now too, for the year, and look at your finances, see what your profit and loss is. It's never too late to look at those things. Like, we're going through some business changes right now. Like, we're switching to sole proprietor for our spa to corporation, and this is a big decision that we've made, and it's okay. We've decided halfway through the year that we're going to switch it, and it is a lot of work, especially at the middle of the year. It's our busiest season, but it will pay off when it comes to tax season. It's going to make sense for us. Actually having a proper paycheck for myself. There's things that it's taking me almost 8 years to now get to the point that we're doing this. So for the outside world, or anyone looking out on social media, on our socials or my personal socials, it all takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a work in progress, and that is that kind of shiny object syndrome we have in our society. It's hard because you do want the best of the best. You want that new service, or you want that new product, or that new car, the new house. Everybody wants new everything, but it all takes time. I also feel like it's like that delayed satisfaction. Like, yeah, maybe like my car's almost 10 years old. Okay, maybe when my car's 10, 15 years old, I'm going to have that satisfaction of having a new car, and it's going to feel extra special because I've waited and I know I deserve this. And it's not just another bill at the end of the month. Like, it's going to be something that I've treated myself to because I deserve it. But making sure you truly deserve it. I feel like treating yourself and then having debt, or having overhead expenses, can really, really bring us down, and just feel like we need to show off that we do have these things, when really you have to wait to deserve them. So I hope this episode, I feel like I was a little more transparent, a little bit more tough in the competitors market, as well as being true to who you are and your values. And yeah, I absolutely love these solo episodes. The reviews have been great on them, the amount of downloads we've been getting. So write us a review, some of the takeaways you've had from this episode, or something that you're looking forward to future episodes, and love to hear more.